When I set out for Lowell, some factory for to find, I left my native country and all my friends behind.
February 15th, 1834. Dear Sister Evelyn, the 10 o'clock curfew just rang, and I'm supposed to blow out the candle. But I feel a great urgency to write you tonight. Besides, I've broken so many rules today already, I doubt one more will matter much. I'm writing to explain why I won't be sending money home for a while. The factory girls turned out of the mills, and we mean to stay out until we get our wages back. The truth is, Evelyn, I'm scared. I don't know what'll happen next. The newspapers, some men in the street, they call us Amazons, half women. How dare they? We are the daughters of free men. Our grandfathers fought for our independence, and we are not about to give it away. Evelyn, so much has happened that I need to tell you about. Can you believe it? It's been just 1 year since that factory agent, Mr. Henry, came out to the farm. Just 1 year since he spoke to Father about my coming to Lowell. He could have been describing the promised land. It sounded so wonderful. A factory in a garden, he called it.
Mr. Hall, the life of the mill girl is completely free from worry and depressing cares. The work, while not strenuous, is sufficiently active to discourage laziness. Why, it is so pleasant. Many say it's more like an academy than work. The mill girls are inspired to write poetry right at the loom.
Never cared much for poetry.
Sir, the Merrimack Corporation only hires virtuous Yankee girls. Our boarding houses are run on very strict rules of conduct. The girls must be regular in their habits, up early in the morning, early to bed at night, and of course, they go to church meeting on Sabbath.
Lucy's just 15. Lowell's a long way off.
It's not like Lucy wouldn't know nobody, Father. Cousin Sabrina's been there since last spring. Says in her letters that she lives ladylike. She's been saving $1 a month for her dowry.
You recruiting too, Evelyn?
Your daughter can expect to earn $3 a month, free and clear. Pretty penny for a young girl, Mr. Hall. Certainly better than shoe binding.
I'm a plain man, Mr. Henry, but I've done well by my children. Set up 2 sons on farms out west in New York, and my eldest daughter's married to a solid man. He'll take over here when I pass on.
I didn't wish to imply...
Lucy's not a rich man's daughter. But what was good enough for her mother and sister should be good enough for her.
But I need some clothes and things, and where will they be coming from if I stay on the farm?
You'll make them yourself.
Father!
That's enough from you, Lucy.
Well, that's that, I thought. Even though the agent said he'd come back once Pa had thought it over. Thank goodness you were around, Evelyn.
Father, Lucy's old enough to earn her own keep till she marries. Besides, it's hard getting by now.
You don't have to worry about me, Papa. I'll work real hard, and I could send some money home each month to help with the mortgage and,
Yes. Lord, never thought I'd see the day. We've been on this land for generations. Now I got to answer to that Manchester bank. Got a half-grown daughter wants to be sent away to the mills just to get her start in life.
I found myself a few days later in Mr. Henry's wagon, bundled up with other girls he'd recruited from nearby villages.
Do you think it'll be hard to get work?
Nah, they're wanting strong farm girls.
It'll be easy.
First thing I'm buying is a city dress.
Me, Lucy Hall. We'd never been further than Claremont. Rarely been so far as the market. Me going to Lowell, Massachusetts. Next day, when the coach finally clattered into town, we all leaned from the windows and gaped. Lowell was grander than I'd ever imagined. The look of it, the mill's gigantic brick buildings, bell towers, taller than even the church steeple at home. Not one, but 6 churches, and a museum, and so many shops. Everything fresh and raw like it was built the day before. There were so many people, so many women. Looked like you could be swept away by a river of people if you were so foolish as to want to walk against the current.
Whoa, here you are. Merrimack number 22.
Mr. Henry delivered me to Cousin Sabrina's boarding house. It was dinner time.
Operatives, that's what they call us girls, work in the mill, get only a half hour at noon for dinner. A body better concentrate on eating, 'cause the next meal's not till after the bell rings to quit at 7:30.
Biscuits, Mrs. Stebbins.
Girls,
Keep up with you girls.
this is my cousin, Lucy Hall.
Did you hear? Emma's brother's coming to visit.
Oh, the handsome
Not one of them even looked up from a dish. My confidence flew from me.
Sure.
I couldn't eat a mouthful.
Striped calico.
Finally, one of the girls turned to me.
Where are you from, Lucy Hall?
I come down from Claremont, Hampshire to work at the mills, I hope.
Come down from your father's donkey, have ye? On a slaver, no doubt. And no bonnet, just a farm girl's straw hat pinned beneath your chin. Quit teasing her, Mary.
New one's got to learn to hand it back sometime.
What? Mary Jacobson, you haven't been at the mill so long yourself.
5 years, off and on. A long enough sentence to serve among you country ninnies, always sticking together like the mud on your shoes.
Ninnies, are we?
Oh, Mary's too good for the likes of us. You see, she went to an academy in Boston, but the only thing she learned was to stick her long nose in the air.
Ah, that's funny.
Better watch out, Mary, or else you'll be here too long and there won't be no young man to marry you away from your loom.
She's got you there, Mary.
You going already, Sabrina?
Have to. If I don't run back now, they'll dock my pay. Don't worry. The girls are fine once you get to know them. First payday, we'll buy you a proper bonnet.
And she left me in the deserted dining room to hover between my old life and this strange new one. Sabrina was right. Mill girls are jolly company. That very night, she and her friends took me to a reading by some famous English writer.
Now, where shall we sit?
Let's get a seat up front.
Yeah,
I want to be able to see. Come on, Lucy. Appleton himself is going to be at the church.
Who's he?
Oh, you won't forget him. He's an owner of the Merrimack Mill.
I am pleased to introduce to you this evening the illustrious author and correspondent. Is a great man of English letters. He will read to you, ladies, a story about the lives of those who labor in the factory cities of England. First, however, I wish to make a comment of my own on this important subject. In this rich young republic, we have started afresh in all things. Here on the Merrimack River, we have prospered not only because we invented a power loom, but also because we found disciplined and respectable workers, the virtuous daughters of our New England farmers. Our mills at Lowell are a kind of industrial miracle. In America, we can have manufactures without the sprawling, filth-strewn slums of England, abundance without the degradation and poverty of the old world. And now, may I turn this attentive audience over to our distinguished speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Appleton. I am honored to be here with you tonight and to share some of my observations. So I conclude my brief comparison and account of Lowell with this inadequate
Industrial
expression of the
miracle, Mr. Appleton said. Sure sounded wonderful to me. I don't remember much else from the reading.
I loved his voice.
Mr. Appleton seems like a kind, caring gentleman. Are all the owners like him?
I suppose so, but it doesn't much matter if they are. They're hardly ever in Lowell. Their offices are in Boston. The agents and their overseers, they run the mills day to day.
By week's end, I got a job in the weaving room at the Merrimack Mill, and I looked forward to my first day with excitement. But I was scared, too.
You'll like it, Lucy. You can earn $2, sometimes $3 a month above your room and board.
Only problem's the overseer, that Obadiah Smith.
That's true. He's a real bully, Lucy. The way he talks, you'd think he built the mill with his own hands. Been working in mills since I was 12. I'm not ashamed to say
I'm proud of
I'm
it.
proud of it.
I'm responsible for this room and everything that goes on here. What you girls are doing, if you're doing it right, and if you're doing it as fast as you can. You answer to me. Got it?
Yes, sir, Mr. Smith.
The agent read you the regulation?
Yes, sir. No leaving without permission.
Leave your job without notice. I'm obliged to send your name to the other corporations. You'll never get another job in Lowell or roundabouts. Not my doing, you understand? Company policy. I'll put you on with Harriet. She'll teach you to weave on the machine. Smile pretty and don't give me no sass. I'll give you your own loom in a couple of months.
Suddenly, there was a sound like thunder rumbling beneath my feet. Then the wheels, bands, and gears sprang into motion all around me. I'll never have the courage to even touch a thread, I thought.
Hey, little rabbit, over here. Harriet, make sure her rabbit ears don't get caught in the works.
Don't worry, Lucy. He's a mean rascal. Just try to stay out of his way. Emily Peters worked here last year. She dared to complain when he started crabbing about her work, and the ruffian fired her on the spot. Owners backed him up, too.
What happened to her?
What?
What happened to her?
Company sent her name round, but she found another job before too long. Mills needed lots of weavers then, but I don't know if it goes so well for us now. Here, let me show you how to piece a broken thread. Smith's right about one thing. You better tie up your hair, or you could be dragged right into the gears. I once saw a little girl, a doffer in the spinning room, get scalped.
I stared at the whirring belts and was almost overcome by the noise and dust. Young boys and girls darted in and among the work so easily, I couldn't quite believe they were real. Somehow I made it through my first day. Harriet was a good teacher. In about 6 weeks, I could tend a loom on my own. I could take care of 2 if only I had eyes in the back of my head. She taught me other things as well. How to move around so your feet don't swell, when to sneak outside for a drink of water, and how to cajole Smith when he comes snooping around your work.
This is how you replace the bobbin.
Like this?
Yeah, that's it. You'll save yourself a lot of time if you put him up here in easy reach.
Factory girls help each other as much as they can. When one of the girls in the carding room got sick last winter, Sabrina and 2 others took turns covering her work so she didn't lose her wages. Work's not so bad, Evelyn, now that I'm used to it, and the wages are fine. My first payday, I earned $6.60 for a month's work, and paid $4.68 for board.
Ladies, have a look. This just came in.
I've never seen such a pretty color.
It's a little fancy to me.
Probably cost too much.
With the rest, I got me a pair of rubbers and a pair of 50-cent shoes. Soon I could start sending a little home. But the hours we work are very long. I'm not asking to be idle, or for somebody else to earn my keep. I know we work long hours on the farm. When there was yarn to be made at home, I would spin and spin for days at a time, till I felt I had spun all the wool in the world. Sooner or later, though, it would be done and I could begin something new. If I worked very hard and quickly, maybe there'd be time to visit the neighbors or go for a hayride. There are snatches of time when the machines are running smoothly and you can chat with a friend down the road. Some girls keep flowers or read from their Bibles. Still, the wheels turn on and on, and on. We are dragged about by the bell, confined to a close, noisy room from morning till night. Up before day at the clang of the bell, out to the mill by the clang of the bell, into the mill and at work in obedience to that ding-dong of the bell, just as if we were so many living machines.
What a miserable gray evening.
Cold sure gets in your bones.
Hey, don't push.
But no matter how hard we have to work, the evenings and Sunday afternoons are our own.
Hey, Sabrina, wait for me. Freedom! We don't have to go back till Monday. I've a mind to go buy some ribbons and then go to the concert tonight. Come with me, Lucy?
I'm so worn out, Sabrina.
You've all day Sunday to rest. Come on. There must be some reward for factory girls. Give me the country in summer, but I'd rather be in Lowell when winter comes. All the fun isn't frozen solid. Now soon you'll see me married to a handsome little man. 'Tis then I'll say to factory girls, come see me when you can.
They may seem a bit fancy, Evelyn, and wear rouge on their cheeks, but they are all good Yankee girls. There are rules posted in our boarding house dining room, but we hardly need them. We are squeezed 4, sometimes 6 to a bedroom, and everyone always has their nose in each other's business.
That Lucinda Perry'd better watch out. I saw her with Harry Richards.
They were just talking together. What can be the matter with that?
It's all around. He left a wife and children in Boston. And Lucinda knows it, too. If she keeps on, I'm going to get Mrs. Stebbins to ask her to leave the house.
I told you we should write to her parents about this mischief.
Isn't that medicine a bit strong? Where will she go?
Lucy, what will people think about us if she stays here carrying on so? Living outside our father's houses, our virtue is already suspect.
The housekeeper did tell Lucinda to leave, and though she wept bitterly, her stone-faced jury didn't relent. Mother always told us to live and let live. Still, you won't find me getting into the same predicament. The farm girls who come to Lowell, they want something better than what their worn-out mothers had. Well, girls do go back home, marry, and raise their children. But others try to get genteel work like teaching, and many want to marry a mechanic or some such and raise their families in the city or out west. We all try to save a little something for when we move on. Nobody plans to stay here forever. So, Evelyn, 2 weeks ago, when the owners had their agents announce a wage cut, things started buzzing like locusts. Some of the girls began making speeches and passing around petitions. I admit, I was skeptical.
What you do when they cut our wages, Lucy?
I don't know. I guess I can get by on less for a while. Maybe I'll go home.
Well, I can't go home. Nothing to go home to. How'll we get on? Anna Price says we'll be just like slaves. Factory slaves. Just like those that pick cotton. Except we work in the mills, turning it into cloth.
Who's Hannah Price?
She works over at the Suffolk mill. There was a meeting last night.
What are you girls gossiping about all afternoon? I won't have no talk of turnouts on my floor, you hear?
No concern of yours. We're keeping up the work.
Same for you, Lucy.
I pretended to adjust the threads.
Watch out, Harriet, dearie, or you can leave right now and not come back. Don't need all of you anyway. People aren't buying so much cloth these days. The Boston partners, Appleton and the rest, they can't sell what they got already. You better quiet down and be sensible like little Lucy here.
Bully.
I avoided Harriet the rest of the afternoon, though she tried hard to get my attention. She caught up with me after work.
Slow down, Lucy. I want to talk to you about the plan. Don't let Smith scare you. We're outside now.
I'm afraid of what you're asking, Harriet.
Listen a minute. The girls are saying we should all take our money out of the Lowell Institution for Savings and go home till the owners give back our wages. We won't have anything to do with the Corporation Bank or Barton House, Hannah Price says, and we'll make sure no girl's without funds to carry her home.
No good'll come of this, Harriet. My pa needs the money I sent him.
Look, I know how you feel, but if they lower the piece rates, we'll have to work twice as fast, if we can, to make the same wage. And if we can't work at the faster rate, there won't be no coins beyond room and board, not even for coach fare. You won't be able to send your pa anything. If they can get some girls to work for lower pay, then we'll all be forced to. We'll be dependent on mill work and might never get the means together to leave.
I just don't know, Harriet. I'll have to think about it.
The overseers, they need not think because they higher stand, that they are better than the girls that work at their command.
Evelyn, I did think about it, long and hard. Then yesterday, the Suffolk Company fired Hannah Price for stirring up trouble, and her whole room walked out. Word got around to the other mills fast.
Did they really just throw her out? Sure did. Said they'd make sure she'll never get another job.
Serves her right stirring up trouble like that.
Oh, hush. Hey, I want to see, too.
Here's the petition the Suffolk girls sent round. We, the undersigned, considering ourselves wronged by the unjust and unreasonable obligement of our wages, do hereby mutually and cheerfully engage not to enter the factory.
What's going on here? Get back to your work or I'll send you all packing.
Don't bother. We're walking out right now.
Oh, yeah? And who's we?
All of us.
That's right.
She's right. Yeah, you come in, Lucy.
Lucy Hall? She won't join your rabble.
I looked at my friends. My heart pounded and I could hardly speak. Mr. Smith?
Yeah?
Do you think I'll work at a lower price than I received before?
It's fair pay, considering the hard times.
All I have to say is...
Yeah?
I'd rather see you sitting beside Satan pumping thunder at 3 cents a clap.
Good for you, Lucy.
We'll show them.
20 girls walked out of that weaving room right then and there. And I went too. Evelyn, the mill owners mustn't have their way. They say if they don't make up their losses, they won't be able to keep the mills open and provide us with work. Provide us with work. As if it was their charity to give and ours to meekly accept. Our answer? A procession right through town to explain our cause. All the girls joined in and none of us will answer the work bell till our wages are restored.
The slaves, no more working in the mill.
The oppressing hand of avarice would enslave us. And to gain their objective, the owners tell us gravely of the pressure of the times. This we are sensible of and deplore it.
Good for
If
you.
any are in want, the ladies will be compassionate and assist them. But we prefer to dispose of charities with our own hands. And as we are free, we would remain in possession of what kind Providence has bestowed upon us. And remain daughters of free men still.
Most people in town, even our stern housekeeper, take our side. Some men jeered us, though, and my preacher was horrified that young women would parade in the streets. We are just following the example of our fathers and grandfathers, men who put down their plows and fought the British for this country. And we won't give up our independence, one at so high a cost, to some new aristocracy of mill owners and overseers. My dear Evelyn, please make Father understand. I mean to send you part of my wages just as soon as I can, but I'm not coming back to the farm to live. And as for settling and marrying a farmer, I just won't. Lowell's sure no miracle, as Appleton claims, and the life of a mill girl is far from free of worries and depressing cares. But my life here has opened doors I didn't even know existed a year ago. And for now, it is here that I want to stay.
"800 women joined the turnout, but within a week, the owners recruited women from the countryside and the strike was broken. 2 years later, the owners raised the price of food and lodging in the boarding houses. This time, however, the women were better prepared. Many more joined the strike, and whole rooms shut down, stopping work throughout the mills. Faced with such determination, the owners were forced to take back the increase.